Welcome back, everybody. I'm really excited for this deep dive.
Yeah, this will be a good one.
I think so, too. We're going to go deep on Tony Fadell.
The iPod guy.
Yeah, the iPod guy and,
Est.
and the Nest thermostat.
So much cool stuff.
Oh, yeah. So many things we use every single day.
Yeah, he's had a long career in Silicon Valley.
Yeah, he didn't just kind of come out of nowhere.
No, he didn't.
He's been around and seen a lot.
Yep, he's seen the ups and the downs.
Right. And so that's what makes it so interesting, right? Because you can see how he's
Learned from his mistakes.
Yeah, learned from his mistakes, but also had these huge successes. And so how can we take those lessons and
apply them to our own lives.
Yeah, exactly. So where do we even begin with this guy?
Well, let's go back to the beginning.
Okay.
General Magic.
General Magic.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, that name does sound familiar.
Yeah, it was this company that was way ahead of its time.
Okay.
It was the early 90s, and they were trying to build
Oh, wow.
a personal communicator.
Like a smartphone kind of thing?
Yeah. Yeah, kind of like a smartphone, but back then,
Yeah, nobody had smartphones.
yeah, the technology just wasn't there.
Right, right.
But they had this vision,
Wow.
this little device that could do it all.
Okay, and what happened?
Well, it failed.
Oh.
It was called the Magic Link, and it just never really took off.
Okay, but so Fidel was there at the very beginning.
He was right out of college.
Wow.
And he chose
Interesting.
General Magic because he wanted to learn from the best.
Interesting. So even though I was struggling, he was like,
I want to be there.
I can learn something here.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty cool.
He had that mindset.
Yeah, that's a good lesson right there.
It is, yeah.
Like sometimes you got to just dive in, even if it's not.
Even if it's a little risky.
Yeah, exactly.
But he learned so much there.
Okay, so what kind of things did he learn?
Well, he learned about teamwork. He learned about design and the importance of understanding your target audience.
Okay, those were all important.
Yeah, valuable lessons.
Right. And he took those lessons with him.
He did, yep, to his next venture.
So General Magic was kind of a
stepping stone.
stepping stone.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't a success,
Right.
it helped him later on.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what was next for him?
Well, after General Magic, he went to Philips.
Philips?
Yeah, the electronics company.
Okay, yeah, I know Philips.
And he had some wins there.
Oh, so this is where things start to turn around.
Yeah, this is where he starts to really make his mark.
All right, tell me about it.
He launched the Velo and Nino pocket PCs.
Oh, wow, pocket PCs. Now, those I remember.
Yeah, they were pretty popular.
They were like the precursor to smartphones, right?
Yeah, in a way.
Okay, so these were actually successful.
They were a commercial success.
Wow. So what was the secret sauce there?
Well, he really focused on simplifying the design,
Okay.
making them easy to use.
So he's starting to get that customer focus.
Yeah, he's really honing in on what people want and need.
And he's learning how to deliver it.
Exactly.
No.
Nice. But then things get even more interesting.
Oh, okay. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So right before he gets the call from Apple,
Okay.
he's actually running his own music player startup.
Really?
Yeah, it's called Fuse Systems.
Fuse.
But they're struggling.
They're struggling.
Yeah, they can't get funding.
Oh, so he's about to.
He's about to give up.
Wow. So this is a real turning point.
It is a pivotal moment.
Okay. So then Apple comes knocking,
Yep, they're looking for someone to lead the development of a new music player.
and that's how the iPod was born.
That's how it all began.
Wow. I mean, can you imagine if he had just given up on Fuse?
Yeah, he would have missed out on this incredible opportunity.
Right. And who knows what would have happened.
Yeah, the world might be a very different place.
I mean, the iPod changed everything.
It really did.
So what was it about Fidel that made Apple choose him?
Well, he was already passionate about music players.
Okay.
He had this vision for the future of music.
So they saw that in him.
They did, and they knew he was the right guy to bring that vision to life.
Okay, so it wasn't just luck. It
Or
was,
preparation.
yeah, he was ready for that moment.
He was, and he seized it.
Okay, so he gets to Apple.
He hits the ground running.
He doesn't waste any time.
No, he's got this idea.
For the iPod.
Yeah, and he knows he needs to get it out there fast.
And he's famous for that, right? Like the really fast development cycle of the iPod.
Yeah, he pushed for a super fast development cycle less than a year,
Less than a year.
which is unheard of.
Yeah, especially for something that revolutionary.
Right, but he knew that time was of the essence.
Why the rush?
He wanted to get it out for the holiday season.
Ah, smart.
Yeah, and it worked.
It totally worked.
That urgency
Yeah.
fueled the team's creativity.
So sometimes a little pressure is a good thing.
Sometimes it's exactly what you need.
Okay, so we've got this guy who's not afraid of failure. He seizes opportunities, and he understands the power of constraints.
That's Tony Fadell.
That's Tony Fadell.
Yeah.
All right, so this is already shaping up to be a masterclass in product development.
Oh, yeah, we're just getting started.
But the story doesn't end there, does it?
Not even close.
All right, let's keep going then.
So after the iPod,
Yeah.
He transitions to the iPhone.
What?
The iPhone.
Which, ironically, ended up disrupting
Oh, wow.
the very device he helped create,
That is wild.
the iPod.
So he's basically cannibalizing his own success.
Yeah, but he understands that staying ahead of the curve means
Being willing to.
being willing to let go.
Wow, that's a tough lesson.
It is, but it's a necessary one.
So it's not enough to just create something great.
No,
You have to be willing to disrupt yourself.
before someone else does.
Okay, that's a powerful insight.
It is.
So he conquers music. He conquers mobile. What's next?
Well, and he sets his sights on something completely different.
Oh, really? Okay, what is it?
The thermostat.
The thermostat, of
Yeah.
all things.
I know, right.
Why the thermostat?
Well, he saw an opportunity
Okay.
to bring intelligence and connectivity
Okay.
to a device that most people barely thought twice about.
Right, we all have thermostats, but we don't really think about them.
Okay, so he creates Nest,
He does.
the Nest Learning Thermostat,
Yep.
and it's a huge success.
It is a massive hit.
So he's proving that even the most mundane objects,
Can be reinvented
yeah,
with the right approach.
with the right vision.
Exactly.
Okay, so he's 3 for 3 now.
It's an incredible track record.
But it's not all smooth sailing, is it?
Well, there's a bit of a bump in the road.
Okay, what happens?
Google acquires Nest,
Oh, okay.
and there's some clashes.
Precious.
Yeah, cultural differences, integration challenges.
Yeah, acquisitions are tough.
They are.
Even when it seems like a perfect fit,
Right.
things can go wrong.
They can.
So what happens with Fidel?
Well, he eventually leaves Nest.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a reminder that even the most successful partnerships.
Can face challenges?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've got this incredible career arc full of highs and lows, successes and challenges.
It's a real life case study.
Yeah, in product development, all wrapped up in one fascinating journey.
It is.
But what I'm really curious about
Yeah.
is the secret sauce.
Right. The key takeaways.
What are the underlying principles that made him so successful?
That's what we're going to unpack next.
Okay, I'm ready.
So what's the Fidel playbook?
Yeah, what's the Fidel playbook?
Well, one of the most important principles
Okay,
is the idea of the customer journey.
got customer journey.
Yeah, it's about going beyond the product itself
Okay,
and thinking about the entire experience a customer has.
okay. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
It's about thinking about every step a customer takes.
Okay.
From the moment they first hear about your product, the moment they start using it,
Okay.
to even years later.
So you're saying it's not just about the product itself,
No, it's about the entire experience.
the whole journey.
Exactly.
Okay, so how did Fidel actually apply this?
Well, let's take the iPod, for example.
Okay.
Back then, digital music players,
Yeah.
they were a mess.
Oh, they were terrible.
Clunky, complicated, terrible interfaces.
Yeah, nobody wants to use that.
Exactly. So what did he do?
Well, he thought about all the pain points,
Okay.
all the things that were frustrating people,
Like what?
like transferring music from your computer to the player.
Oh, yeah, that was always a nightmare.
It was slow, it was buggy.
Yeah, lots of cursing involved.
So he knew that had to be fixed.
Okay.
And that's where iTunes came in.
I did that.
And the iPod's iconic click wheel,
Right.
they simplified the entire process.
Yeah, they made it so easy.
Exactly.
Mm.
Suddenly loading up your iPod with your favorite tunes was a breeze.
And that click wheel?
Oh, it's brilliant.
So simple, but so brilliant.
It's amazing how such a small detail
I know.
can have such a huge impact.
It really can.
And that's what Fidel understood.
Okay.
It's those small details,
Yeah.
those moments in the customer journey
Right.
that can make or break a product.
Oh, he was really paying attention.
He was obsessed with it.
And it paid off.
It did. The iPod was a massive success.
Okay, so that's the iPod, but what about Nest?
Oh, Nest is another great example.
Okay. He took the same approach.
Okay.
He thought about the entire customer experience.
So how do you even think about the customer experience for a thermostat?
Well, most people don't think about thermostats at all.
That's true.
They're just these ugly beige boxes stuck on the wall.
Yeah, you kind of just ignore them.
Exactly. But Fidel wanted to change that.
Okay.
He wanted to make the thermostat something people actually enjoyed looking at
Okay.
and using.
Wow, that's a pretty radical shift.
It is.
Most people don't get excited about thermostats.
I know, but that was Fidel's genius.
Okay.
He saw the potential to elevate
Yeah.
even the most mundane objects.
And he was right.
The Nest Learning Thermostat was a huge success.
Okay, so he took something we all took for granted
Yeah.
and said, this can be better.
This can be beautiful.
This can be something you actually want to interact with.
Exactly.
Okay, I love that.
And it all goes back to the customer journey.
So he was thinking about every interaction,
From the unboxing
Yeah.
experience to the ease of use. Okay.
To the way it's seamlessly integrated with people's lives.
Right?
He wanted it to be a delight, not a chore.
Okay, so we've got this obsession with the customer journey.
Yeah.
But what about the actual product itself?
Right. How do you make sure you're building the right thing?
Yeah.
That's where the power of storytelling comes in.
Storytelling.
Yeah. Fidel believed that a good product story is essential.
For a thermostat.
Yeah, for any product.
Okay. I'm not sure I get it.
Think about it this way.
Okay.
A good story explains why something exists,
Okay.
what problem it solves,
Right.
and why people should learn.
Okay.
It's about connecting with people on an emotional level.
So it's not just about features and specs.
No, it's about the why.
The why.
Exactly.
Okay, so how did he use storytelling for the iPod?
Well, the iPod story was all about freedom and mobility,
Okay.
empowering people to take their music with them wherever they went.
Right.
It was about breaking free from the limitations of CDs and bulky stereo systems.
Yeah. It was about a more personal connection to music.
I get it.
And it resonated with millions of people around the world.
Because it tapped into something deeper
Exactly.
than just wanting to listen to music.
Right. It was about self-expression and connection.
Okay, that makes sense.
And it wasn't just about the external marketing message.
Huh.
He used storytelling internally, too.
Really?
Yeah, to align his teams,
Okay.
to inspire them,
Right.
and to keep them focused on the bigger picture.
So what was the story for Nest?
Well, with Nest, the story was about creating a more thoughtful home.
A thoughtful home.
Yeah, a home that could take care of itself
Okay.
and the people inside it.
So not just a thermostat.
No, it's a partner.
In creating a better living space.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm starting to see how powerful this storytelling concept can be.
It gives the product a soul,
Yeah.
a reason for being.
It's more than just a collection of features.
It's something with meaning and purpose.
Okay. This is making me rethink my whole approach to
Everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's about finding the story
Yeah.
behind what you're building.
Okay, so we've got customer journey, we've got storytelling.
Yep.
What about those tight deadlines Fidel was so famous for?
Yes. The deadlines.
How did he balance that pressure?
Well, he understood that deadlines can actually be a catalyst for innovation.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
So he's saying limitations can actually spark creativity.
Exactly.
That seems counterintuitive.
It might seem that way, but think about it.
Okay.
When you have unlimited time and resources, it's easy to get bogged down.
Right.
To overthink things.
Yeah, you can get lost in the weeds.
Exactly.
Okay.
But constraints,
Yeah.
they force you to make tough decisions,
They prioritize.
to focus on what truly matters.
So instead of being a roadblock,
Yeah,
constraints become a launch pad.
exactly.
Okay, I like that.
And Fidel was a master at using constraints to his advantage.
So how did he do that?
Well, he knew how to set ambitious goals
Right.
without overwhelming his teams. And he gave them the space to experiment and innovate.
Within those constraints.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's about finding that sweet spot
Yeah,
between freedom and constraint.
where creativity can flourish.
Okay, I'm starting to see the light here.
Good.
So give me an example.
The rapid development of the first iPod is a perfect example.
Okay.
Fidel pushed to get it completed in less than a year,
Less than a year.
even though everyone thought it was impossible.
Wow.
But that pressure cooker environment,
Yeah.
it forced the team to think outside the box,
Right.
to come up with innovative solutions.
And they did it.
They delivered a groundbreaking product.
That's amazing.
It is.
So sometimes those impossible deadlines.
They can push you beyond what you thought was possible.
Yeah.
Think about it in your own life.
Okay.
Have you ever found that a tight deadline actually helped you be more creative?
You know, now that you mention it,
Yeah.
I totally have.
There's something about that pressure that forces you to tap into a different part of your brain.
Yeah, you got to get it done.
Exactly.
And you find a way.
And that's what Fidel understood so well.
Right.
He knew how to harness that power of constraints
Right.
to drive innovation.
To achieve remarkable results.
Exactly.
This is blowing my mind.
good. I like it.
It's like I'm seeing product development through a whole new lens.
That's the goal.
Okay, so we've got customer journey,
Yep.
storytelling,
Uh-huh.
embracing constraints.
Right.
What about disrupting yourself before someone else does?
Oh, that's a big one.
Yeah. How did Fidel actually put that principle into action?
Yeah, that's where the iPhone comes in.
The iPhone.
Yeah, iPod was a massive success.
Oh, yeah.
But Fidel knew that it wouldn't last forever.
Okay.
He saw the potential of smartphones.
Right.
And he understood that they could eventually replace dedicated music players.
Yeah, it's like he saw the future.
He did.
And he knew that he had to be a part of it,
Exactly.
even if it meant disrupting his own creation.
It was a bold move,
It was.
but it was also a necessary one.
So he was willing to cannibalize his own success.
Yeah, in order to stay ahead of the
To
curve.
stay relevant.
Exactly.
Okay, that's a powerful lesson.
It is.
It's not enough to just create something great.
No.
You have to be willing to let it go,
To move on?
to evolve.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's disrupting yourself.
Yeah.
But what about building the team?
Yes. The team.
Because you can't do it all yourself, right?
You need the right people
Yeah.
to bring your vision to life.
So what was Fidel's approach to building a team?
Well, he had a very specific philosophy.
Okay, tell me about it.
He looked for people who were passionate, imperfect, and complementary.
Passionate, imperfect, and complementary.
Yeah, those were his 3 criteria.
Okay, break that down for
Well,
me.
passionate is pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, you want people who are excited about their work.
Exactly. People who are driven by a desire to make a difference.
Right, they got to have that fire in their belly.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's passionate. What about imperfect?
Well, nobody's perfect.
Sure.
We all have strengths and weaknesses.
Right.
And Fidel understood that he wasn't afraid to hire people who had areas where they needed to grow.
So he wasn't looking for rock stars.
No, he was looking for people with potential.
Okay.
People who were willing to learn and grow.
And who could complement each other.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's where the complementary part comes in.
Yeah, he wanted to build teams where people's strengths and weaknesses balanced each other out.
Okay, so it's like putting together a puzzle.
Exactly.
Each piece is unique
But they all fit together.
to create a complete picture.
A beautiful picture.
I like that.
Yeah, Fidel was a master at assembling teams.
Right.
Where everyone brought something different to the table.
And they could all work together.
Harmoniously?
Okay, so he had this vision for the kind of team he wanted, but how did he actually find these people?
Well, he looked beyond resumes and traditional interview questions.
Okay, so what did he do?
He wanted to see people's passion.
Their enthusiasm.
Yeah, their curiosity.
Okay,
Their willingness to challenge the status quo.
so he wasn't afraid of a little bit of trouble.
No, she embraced it.
He wanted people who would shake things up.
Exactly.
Okay, and how did he make sure that these people were also customer focused?
Well, remember that 3 crowns hiring process?
Oh yeah, the 3 crowns.
Where a potential hire had to be interviewed by a customer?
Yeah, that was pretty unique.
It was.
And it really showed Fidel's commitment to the customer journey.
Absolutely.
Okay, so he found the right people, but then he also had to lead them.
Right.
So what was his leadership style like?
Well, he believed in giving his teams a clear vision,
Yeah.
ambitious goals,
Yeah.
and the freedom to experiment and innovate.
So he gave them the space to do their best work,
Exactly.
but within certain constraints?
Of course, because
Uh-huh.
constraints can be a good thing.
Yeah, we talked about that.
And he knew how to foster a culture of trust and collaboration.
So it was a supportive environment,
It was.
but also challenging.
Yeah, he pushed his teams to be their best.
Okay, so it sounds like Fidel was a pretty amazing leader,
He was.
and he built some pretty amazing products.
He did.
And it all came down to his unique approach to product development and team building.
The Fidel Playbook.
Yeah, the Fidel playbook
It's a collection of principles and practices.
that we can all learn from,
Absolutely.
no matter what industry we're in.
Or what kind of work we do.
Yeah, this has been a really inspiring deep dive.
I agree.
It's made me think about my own work in a whole new way.
That's great to hear.
So what's the one key takeaway you would leave our listeners with?
I think the most important thing is that anyone can apply these principles.
Yeah,
It's not just for tech companies.
right.
It's for anyone who wants to create something new,
To make a difference.
to innovate.
Okay, so it's about finding that spark of creativity,
Yeah.
embracing the customer journey,
Harnessing the power of constraints.
and building a great team.
Exactly.
Okay, I love it.
So go out there and make something amazing.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the mind of Tony Fidel.
It was a pleasure.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing those boundaries.